I think I'll walk through door number two, and because this is something that like probably one of my biggest pet peeves as far as being a writer goes, and I think this is probably true for any profession really though, is that idea that you've heard it, and I think it was Stephen. The idea probably started with Stephen Pressfield, and he said that you are a writer when you say you are a writer, and the reason that makes me bristle so much is because of the kind of I guess I want to say the lack of concern, the undermining that it does to the people who have actually sort of earned their stripes. Because I mean, it would be insane for me to say I'm a boxer the moment that I say I'm a boxer, and in fact, that's how I am a boxer. And I understand that what Pressfield is trying to do with other people who've sort of adopted this way of thinking. I understand what they're trying to do is trying to encourage people, say, hey, listen, you can do this if you have in your heart to be a writer. If you have in your heart, if you have this desire to want to write, then I'm giving you permission to go. Give yourself permission to go and do this, and that's fine and good. But I think it's misleading, and again, like I said, I think it undermines for everybody who's sort of blood, sweat, and tear their way through becoming a professional writer. It undermines the work that they've done, and it doesn't justify. I mean, I would, until you actually step into the ring, and it doesn't matter if you actually get published or not, and that's fine if you want to call yourself a writer and like you never get published, you never do that, but you're actually putting in the work, and you're taking the time, and you're doing the things that actually qualify you to become a writer. So I don't know. I come from a school that's less soft about that sort of thing, and would rather boot camp people into the profession than kind of sort of soft toe them through it. So that's probably the thing that I don't get to speak about often, and when I do, it animates me, because you do hear it a lot. You do hear people really, and I don't want to discourage anybody from becoming a writer. But at the same time, I do, because really, it's like if you can think of a better profession, I'd go for it, because otherwise, it's a hard road. I mean, it's a hard road. It doesn't pay a lot unless you can, sort of make your way through the progression and up the ladder. But otherwise, it's a hard road. As you can see, journalists, have been migrating away from the newspaper world because of the lack of money there, and then moving into the marketing world, and it's a hard road to go, and it's not easy, and but if so I will concede this, if it helps you to call yourself a writer in order to get through that, that's fine, but just don't think that you're an actual writer because you said you're a writer, because you're not, and until you actually earn it. So, and I say that too, having been many people ahead of me in qualifications, and I with fear and trepidation call myself a writer. I find myself in conversations with people saying, hey, what do you do? And so sort of our natural reaction is, well, I'm a writer, right? I try to say I write for a living, and which is what I do, and because I understand that it's hard work, and we don't get into this profession easily, and so if you choose yourself, that's fine with me, but make sure you do the hard work that it takes to actually get there, and I think most people will. But I mean, and for me, my mindset is when I'm coaching people, talking to people, about this particular profession, it's like, listen, this is not going to be easy, and I'm going to be brutal with you and your work, because I think it's only fair for you. It's always been only fair from, and I've also, just through my own experiences, I've learned so much more in that sort of process. So this is my approach, and I know it's not everybody's approach. So given what that is, then I guess some people like that, some people don't. I like it. I guess I'm sadomasochist in what sense, but perhaps other people don't want to do it that way. That's fine with me. So anyway, that's my rant.